You're not imagining things. This video is a repost, a re-upload to YouTube. YouTube is very good about protecting the copyright laws of musicians. And all of the music that I've used in the past is copyright-free music that's taken from SoundCloud. Occasionally these musicians sign up with a recording label. And at that point, that recording label copyrights all of their previous music. And so some of the music that I've used here in the past has become copyrighted. So I've had to remove the video, edit the music, and then repost the video. So this video, all the music is new and re-edited, and I'm reposting it. So I hope you enjoy this flashback from the past and get to see a little variety in your videos. Behind me, a man is teaching a little kid how to do giant bubbles. So you can see they take the sticks with the rope on it and dip it in a bucket here that has the soapy water, and he spreads it out, and then they're walking and making these giant bubbles. That is really cool. I'm in Granada, Spain today, and I'm going to wander around the city a little bit. Usually on my first day in a new city, I like to just pick a neighborhood and wander around and see what the architecture is like, see what the buildings are like, and get familiar with the area around the hostel or nearby the central area. So today I'm going to the Albaicin, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, area. It's a neighborhood not too far from my hostel, and I'm told that it's rather interesting. So I'm going to head out that direction and just wander around there for 45 minutes to an hour and just see what the neighborhood's like. I'm standing in one of the plazas here in Granada, and this plaza is right at the beginning of the area that I'm going to walk around. And it's basically just if I walk to the east and to the north, I'll be walking through the neighborhood that I want to see today. And this is sort of the beginning area. So I'm going to continue from here and walk forward, but you can already see this spectacular, really interesting architecture behind me with these beautiful buildings and this plaza area here with the white and gray flagstone type area for the ground, and a bunch of cafes around. It's really quite picturesque, quite nice here. If you watch some of my past videos, you'll know that I am a big fan of street art and not really a big fan of graffiti. So back here we have some street art just on the edge of this plaza, and I really like just seeing the creative talents of artists when they're given a larger mural here in an open space to create. This is really awesome. Over here is some more, and next to it is some graffiti, which I'm not so fond of, but this is located just off the plaza that was behind me. So I'm going to continue up into the Albaicin neighborhood, which is just ahead and off to my left. The staff at my hostel gave a recommendation to me to start my walk through Albaicin neighborhood right here at the beginning of this small creek, this little, not quite a river, it's a creek that goes through this neighborhood area and then through the center of town underground. But here you can see it in the channel, and right next to it is this very nice Spanish church up on the hill. And then the neighborhood is off to my right-hand side behind me, your left. And it's these series of buildings here. So I'm going to walk along this little stream and go up the hill and just enjoy the sights. Behind me is a very nice bridge. This is just one more example of the picturesque, beautiful scenery here with the Spanish style architecture on each side, the creek going down through the middle, and off to the side the souvenir shops and cafes. It's just quite gorgeous here. Behind me is another beautiful bridge, just really, really nice. And if you look further up the hill, on the top of the hill you can see walls of, I think it's the palace that's up there. I'm hoping to see that later this week, but tried to buy tickets this morning and it was sold out every day. So I've got to find out how to get around buying the tickets online. and see if it's possible to buy them at the box office. It's like the creek ends right here, the little river, and it runs into the wall of this church back here. Again, it's just a beautiful Spanish church, perched right at the end of this little valley, and I think this is sort of the end of the neighborhood, and it just continues to the north of here. So I'm going to walk up a little further and then cut across to the north. I think there's a scenic point up there. Behind me you can see the back side of the church that I just walked past and some additional buildings here. I'm standing on a bridge right out in the middle of the creek, and on the hill up behind me is the palace that I mentioned earlier that I'm hoping to go to sometime later this week. And then off in the distance is a hill with a sort of a mansion hacienda up perched on the side of it. It's quite beautiful. And then there's a little parkway with some restaurants and outdoor seating here and sitting benches and stuff. It's just so beautiful up here. You just would want to stay here for several days and just relax. I can see why this would be a popular vacation place in Spain. Wow, this is quite the climb to get up the hill to this viewpoint. The steps just keep going up and up. You can see on this way, that's where I just came from. I'm out of breath because altitude difference. I think for the last 12 hours, 14 hours that I've been here in Granada, I've been suffering from a little bit of altitude sickness. I came up from Sevilla to here. Sevilla is at 7 meters above sea level. This is about 745 meters above sea level, so that's over 700 meters. That's about 2,100 feet rise in elevation, and that's just enough to give me a little bit of altitude sickness. I think that that's something that happens with age. As like over the last 5 years or so, I've noticed I've become much more sensitive to changes in altitude. If I go up over 2,000 feet, then I'll have a headache for about a day before I acclimate to the local altitude. So anyway, I'm sitting down trying to take it easy, stay hydrated, and just rest a little bit as I'm moving up so that I don't get wiped out and end up passing out or something like that. Anyway, taking a break, and I'll continue on in a minute. I've reached the viewpoint. This is called the Plaza de Don Nicolas. This is the top area. As you can see, it's quite popular. There's quite a group of people that have gathered up here, but it also has a spectacular view. You can see down off the city into the little valley that I just came up, and across the way is this gorgeous, beautiful palace, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see because of the glare of the sun on the camera. I finished up at the plaza here at the viewpoint, and I think that's all I have for now. I'm going to wander down to my hostel. It's probably about 20 or 30 minutes from here, and maybe get a bite to eat and take a nap, do a little bit of work online. I still need to edit my video for today, and then I have a really slow internet connection in my hostel, so I'm going to see if I can go to an Apple retail store. They don't have an actual real Apple store here. They've got a preferred premium vendor, so I'm going to go there and try to use their internet connection to upload the file, and hopefully that will be successful today. I'm back at the 7 gatos, the 7 cats, and getting a small beer again, which is €2.20. And I get my free tapas, which this time I've got some noodles with some ham and a little thing that's sort of like a burrito, like a mini chiquito, I think that's what they call these things, or taquito. I had a nice nap this afternoon, and then I did my video editing, some work online this afternoon, and it's early evening, just slightly past 5 o'clock. So I walked over here to this Apple premium dealer. There's no Apple stores here in Granada, but apparently they tried to install optical cable today for their store, and things didn't go so well, so they have no internet today. So I'm going back to my hostel and I'm going to try to upload there, but the internet is so bad that I suspect that it's probably going to be about 20 hours for the upload of the current video file that I just finished today. So it is what it is. Sometimes this happens when you travel. That's about all I have for today. Savor the moment, be happy, pursue your passions. See you next episode.